Oh. Whew. What is up, y'all? This is the rapid reaction for WWE Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. TLC. This was incredible. This last one. Oh man. I mean, this is out of your mind crazy, man. I mean, I just love this. I really do. And somebody on Twitter said, this is why wrestling is so great. And it absolutely is. This is exactly what you need. And I love Corey Graves giving it the Olympic shield bomb. I mean, it's just this one. So when the shield comes out, and it's Rollins and it's Ambrose, and then Kurt Angle caught his ass behind him. That's for the show. Oh. Oh. This has been one of the better nights in wrestling in a long time. This really has been. This was incredible. I want to put this on Twitter. This has been one of the best nights in wrestling in a long time. It really truly has. Oh man. And it just wasn't just this last match with Angle and the Shield and everybody. This was a good night for wrestling overall. It really was. And I think even if you go back to like the pregame show, Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox had a very entertaining match. Alicia Fox is back going crazy. What's up? Never sways up. Never. I'm just gonna call you Never because I done screwed up your name. So what's up, Never? Thanks for watching. But yeah, this was just Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox had a very entertaining match. Alicia Fox is back being crazy, which is always good. Crazy Alicia Fox is good Alicia Fox. And she's been on the roster for a long time. I think, the whole thing with Mickie James, being, the oldest, woman or something like that. I think Alicia is actually the second oldest. I think she's the one. She's been around for, a decade or maybe even a dozen years. So she's probably the second oldest. But yeah, but they had a very good match. So I thought that was fun and entertaining. Sasha Banks wins again. So I think we'll see where that goes. I don't know if they're gonna go give Sasha Banks and Asuka the match too quickly because Survivor Series is up next, and like they said on the broadcast, it's gonna be Raw versus SmackDown. And there have been some rumors about, of course there being the Survivor Series matches, but it would be like champions. That's why Jinder challenged Brock. It would be the women's champion versus for Raw versus SmackDown tag champions, so on and so on. So we'll have to see where they go. And then they're gonna have a male tag match and a women's tag match. So we'll see where that goes. But Sasha Banks did win. And so I had that at about 2 3/4 stars, which is just above average. So I thought that was really good. To start off the show at least on the kickoff show. Then as we opened the actual pay-per-view with Asuka going against Emma, and I was kind of shocked because I was expecting kind of almost a squash. Kind of like how Taz did Kurt Angle when Taz made his debut, right? Remember back in January of 99, Taz faced an undefeated Kurt Angle, and Taz came in and just choked him out in almost 15, 20 seconds almost. So that's what I was thinking, but they had a good match, and I think that was actually good because, I know they were disappointed in Emma not getting down the Emmalina concept as like they wanted her to. So then they just had to drop it. So I know they were upset at her as that, but she's still a good work. I don't think she needs to be your doghouse for too long. And I think tonight was kind of proof of that. They let her show her stuff, and she was good. She's always been good, but she was real good tonight. And I think she gave Asuka a great opening opponent. And I think Asuka was obviously Asuka. She is just fabulous in the ring herself. The match ended with an Asuka lock. Emma tapped out, and I think that was great. First match, opening match. That's what an opening match is. I'm kind of old school. I grew up where, the opening match was to get the crowd jumping. It was to get the crowd jumping. It was something like that. Nowadays they don't do that anymore, especially in WWE. They set I don't know how they set. I don't know reasons why they set the lineups. I don't know how they do that or anything like that. It's almost like they just say, they pick them out randomly out of the hat. The title match is last, and then everything else, you just pick out of a hat. And they have just some of the crazy things. Now they've been doing that as of lately, where they put kind of big stars in the opening bout. John Cena opened SummerSlam. So tonight, Asuka and Emma opened, and it was a fantastic, hot opener. I think it got the crowd started. Minnesota was actually a pretty hot crowd to begin with because they were hot for Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox. So I kind of think that Minnesota was a good place for them to be. So we got Asuka and Emma. They did a great job. I had that as 3 and a quarter stars. Great opener for Asuka and Emma. Then we had going back to the kickoff show just for a second. We had Elias in the middle. He interrupted Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle talking because he wanted to sing for Minnesota. He got inspired by Prince, as he liked to say. So then he got a thing. So this was, he actually came out 3 times. I'll talk about that each time he came out. So first time he came out, he was sitting on the stage. And I guess I can understand that why they had him sitting on the stage. Because there's no reason for him to be in the ring. If he's not going to wrestle, there's no reason for him to go in the ring. So I think that was smart. So then he gets through it, and all of a sudden he gets hit with like some lettuce or celery or something, and then his vegetables, and then they bring the lights up. It's Jason Jordan throwing lettuce at him and everything like that. So I thought that was first time it was okay. Then after that, they went into the Cedric. I want to call him the Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann versus Gallagher and Kendrick tag match in the Cruiserweight division. And this one was a great match too. I think it was tag team for a leg. If you do the tag team formula down to the match, it's a 3-star match for the most part, right? So and that's how this was, and that's what I had. I had it down as a 3-star match. They did it down to the T. Rich Swann took the heat. Made the hot tag to Cedric. He did all his stuff. They come back, and then they had a little back and forth between all 4 of them. Cedric hit the lumbar check on Gallagher, and he won. Picked up the victory for Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann. I think I kind of think that a lot of these divisions maybe do need tag titles, and so that you have something to do with them, and maybe it's now time for a cruiserweight tag title situation going on in going on at least with the cruiserweight division. So good match. All four guys did their job. 3-star match, like I said, we're to go. Then we had the WWE Women's Title match between Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. This was a very good match. I liked it. This front of foot, again, kind of old schoolishness. With Alexa Bliss working on the arm of Mickie James. Now, psychology wise, I don't know if that makes a difference because Alexa Bliss doesn't have an arm submission, and the move, the Mickie James finishing move, has nothing to do with her arm. So the psychology was kind of off, but still, you never see something like that in this day and age, really, ever, where someone works a body part to weaken an opponent, and I liked that. It did not really come. Well, actually, it did come into a play because how the finish was that they were in the corner and Alexa Bliss grabbed the arm and threw Mickie into the turnbuckle, and then when Mickie came back off, she hit her with the DDT. So Alexa Bliss won. She is going into Survivor Series, I would assume, as the Raw Women's Champion. I'm not sure if Starrcade is before or if it's after Survivor Series. Survivor Series is on November 19th. So I don't know if Starrcade is in December or if it's coming before. But whatever it is, I would assume that there's a possibility that Alexa Bliss will be going into Survivor Series as the Raw Women's Champion, facing SmackDown's Raw Women's Champion. SmackDown's Raw Women's Champion? SmackDown's Women's Champion. Jesus Christ. So yeah. And then I think what we had down there was good. They did this stupid interview after the match, and they did it with it's stupid with the winner, but at least you can understand it. It's even more stupid with the loser. I don't know why they talked about it with Mickie James, and listen, the promo was nice. She did a lot of good things. She was up and crying and doing some very good acting, but I didn't need to see that. I don't know why they want to do something like that. I really don't. It's no need for it. So they can stop that immediately, please. Stop that. I'm over here. I'm changing my televisions around, trying to keep one paused and one on the football game. Patriots are beating the Falcons' ass. I don't know what's going on. So whatever. Anyway. So yeah. You had to do that. They had to stop doing that. Excuse me, and just leave it alone. But anyway, as the match was good, so Mickie James can still go. We know Alexa Bliss has got some talent in her as well. So I was very happy with the match. Like I said, I gave it 3.5 stars. So after this match, Elias gets a second time to try to talk to try to sing to Minnesota. And then what they decided to do was they went ahead and they decided to once again do the thing where Jason Jordan comes out and he throws fruit at Elias. And this one was even. It was just I just wasn't sure what the hell they were thinking. I really don't know what they were thinking, doing this, doing that. So, but whatever. They did it. And this is going to lead to a match later on in the night. So, then the next match, after Elias' second time to sing, is the Cruiserweight title match. Enzo Amore and Kalisto. Enzo wins the match. The match was, I had it as a 2 two and a quarter star match. But see, here's the thing, right? Why do they feel the need to do a title switch? What? And then like switch it back so quick. Like you know, like here's the thing. Like now, I know some people would say, well, last year you were all for the Sasha Banks, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair. Every other match they kept switching the titles. Well, the way I saw it was they were doing it. The way they were doing it was that this was they were going back. The reason why they were going back and forth was because they were showing how each woman is equal when it comes to ability and things like that. So that's what equal. So just like it's on any given Sunday, a team can beat you in the NFL. On any given night, Charlotte can beat Sasha and Sasha can beat Charlotte. That's how I saw it. But what they did with Akira Tozawa and Neville, and then what they do now with this, and what they did with Bayley and Sasha, not Bayley and Sasha, Alexa Bliss and Sasha, and what they did with even with Chris Jericho and Kevin, I'm just not a big fan of it. I'm really not. And you know, I've talked about this before. You know, I hate, you know, it's all lazy to me. I hate the rematch clause because, you know, the rematch clause is just lazy booking. You know, so it's not, you know, it's not cool. I'm not a big fan of it. You know, I think that, you know, the rematches should only happen for when a wrestler holds the title for like 180 days or something. You know, it's 6 months. If you hold a title for 6 months, you deserve a rematch clause. I would even take 3 months, 90 days. If you hold it for 90 days, then sure you are. If you were to lose it, you get an automatic rematch clause, right? You get an automatic rematch. You know that clause is put in your contract. But the way they do this thing here, he holds it for a couple of weeks, loses it to Kalisto, he gets an automatic rematch clause, and then Kalisto's gonna get an automatic rematch, right? So then they're gonna fight one more time in either tomorrow night or in the next couple of weeks or in 205 Live or something. So it really is just kind of stupid. It really is. So for me, I wasn't a big fan of it. Not a big fan of it. I really wish they would just change that and try to stop, you know, doing lazy booking and things like that. So, and especially like with this was just foolishness and fuckery of the biggest kind. It really was. Cruiserweight matches aren't going to be entertaining with Enzo. They just aren't, or at least entertaining in the way of being technical. Actually, let me try to say it again. Cruiserweight matches can be entertaining, but they won't be like technically skilled entertainment. They won't be Finn Balor and AJ Styles, you know. And this wasn't even close to even that. So whatever, it just was what it was. And Enzo's the new Cruiserweight champion. Once again, like I said, he got to talk after the end of the thing, after he won, and again, like I said, I understand it more, but I don't think that needs to happen directly right after they win. So whatever. So then now we go to AJ Styles versus the Demon, and this is one of the biggest things. In case if you're talking about, like, well, wait a minute, I thought it was going to be Sister Abigail versus the Demon. Well, if you've been living under the rock for the last 4 days, what happened was there was a viral infection. I think maybe even meningitis, but they're just saying a viral infection. It spread on the Raw side of the locker room, and in fact, Enzo, he was saying that his voice was hoarse, and he was hoarse because he was celebrating last night's victory. Kind of thing that he may have been sick too. Kane was coughing during the match because he had the thing with Roman Reigns, so he may have caught it when he wrestled on 10 Chains, and I would expect maybe Braun Strowman may have that too as well. But so whatever. But it was Bray Wyatt has it, Bo Dallas has it. In case you don't know, Bray Wyatt, Bo Dallas are brothers. Don't know why they didn't just decide to put them together. They haven't decided to put them together yet, but whatever. They're gonna keep them separate. At least they're on the same thing, right? And JoJo, the ring announcer, was allegedly seeing Bray Wyatt. She kind of supposed to have it, but apparently I think her mother came out and have already said that she was not sick. So, but she was not there tonight. They had one of those announcer guys do the ring announcement. So, well, shit. But the point of the story is that Bray Wyatt, he get the viral infection, can't wrestle. So they asked AJ Styles, who was on the South American tour, to fly back all the way to Minnesota and wrestle Finn Balor, the Demon, on WWE tables, ladders, and chairs. And he said, "Company guy, fine, you do it." You came back, and it was incredible. What else can you say? It was this was kind of this was an old school face versus face type match, and this was not like it was a great match. It wasn't a classic, but it doesn't have to be a classic. Every match was not a classic, and this was not a classic, but this was a damn good match. I'll put it down as 4.5 stars. This was it's amazing, and I thought it's a great wrestling overall, and there are times when matches like this just happen. There are matches that need build up. Even Booker T said this. There are matches that need a build up. I think there are matches that don't need a build up. This is just a match that can be put together and be great, and it was. And this is exactly what it was, and I think this was truly awesome. So I was surprised by the end. I was thinking that because they're kind of setting up AJ to be the man to go against Jinder on the next card. I wasn't if he wins it or not. Who knows? Because I think that there's 2 rumors out there about Jinder Mahal's title run, that he's going to either lose it to AJ Styles and after the Indian tour in December, win it back in January and then go to Mania and face John Cena, or that he's just going to hold it straight to Mania and then he'll face John Cena there. I'm okay with either one personally. I know they say, well, he's not putting on great matches, and he's not. Who knows what on money side if he's drawn or not, anything like that. I don't know if it has had any change in the Indian market having him as champion. Is not, but I also think that WWE champions need to have long title reigns. I just do. I really do think that. I think that WWE champions should be, it just shouldn't be 3 months and then lose it, and then something like that. They should have long reigns. They should have reigns where, if you win it at WrestleMania, you at least go to Survivor Series. At least. That's how it was in the old school, right? Again, maybe that's me. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe some things, but especially when you have another quote unquote heavyweight championship like with the Universal Champion, that could be the title that switches back and forth. That's the title that can switch back and forth. Then you have like all of the Intercontinental Champions and U.S. Champions. They can switch back and forth. They don't need to be long, title reigns. Maybe one does, something like that. So you can see title changes a lot. You don't need to. It doesn't need to be the WWE champion, but the long title reign isn't necessarily what people are upset with. They just it's just the whole source. They just don't at this point like him as champion, but he is a champion, and he probably gonna be champion for a little while longer at least. Anyway, where I was going with this was that since they had AJ Styles look to be the next, I thought they wanted to try to keep him strong. So what they were gonna do, it was gonna be like a disqualification with Gallows and Anderson coming in and taking both of them out. And that didn't happen. Gallows and Anderson did not come down. They left that match alone. So then they stood on his own. They had an incredible match. They went outside on the ring side once or twice, maybe even 3 times. It wasn't AJ Styles and John Cena where they just stayed in the ring, but they went outside once or twice. But it was still great. It was truly awesome. I think everybody enjoyed that, and it was wonderful to see. So great, and as a member of the WWE Universe, thanks to AJ Styles for taking time out and doing his and coming to Minnesota and wrestling with Finn Balor and everything like that. Apparently that was the first time they've ever wrestled, not even in Japan or anywhere else, because they never crossed paths enough to where they wrestled. The first time they've ever met in a wrestling ring, and they put on an excellent show. And I want to see this again. And like I said, I put this on Twitter. If Survivor Series is Raw vs. SmackDown, let's do this again then on Survivor Series. So, after 2 Elias's, that just sounds weird, but I'm saying it right. Elias, let me say it like this. After twice Elias being interrupted by Jason Jordan, is now a match, Jason Jordan versus Elias, and maybe this was put on the card at the final moment, saying, well, okay, we're gonna do this, and then have you guys put on a match, anything like that, because this. A couple things seemed rushed and seemed unfluid and everything like that, and including the finish. The finish seemed to be screwed up. Elias may have had his shoulder up or not, and the referee wasn't looking correctly or anything like that. Jason Jordan got the win, but it just wasn't a thing. By the way, I have loved not only tonight, but maybe like in the past 2 or 3 weeks, where Cole and Graves are just killing Booker T for his opinion on Jason Jordan, and then he'll flip flop on Jason Jordan doesn't deserve it, but then he come back a minute later, that kid's get talent, he gonna be a star. they kill him for it. But I love it. I want that to keep on going. I like that. I don't know if that's like just being, if that's been scripted or that's just them shooting off the cuff, but whatever it was totally awesome. I love it. They need to keep that going. The match was a 2-star match. It was nothing. Like I said, it was very iffy and everything like that. The crowd wasn't into it, but they just watched, a 4.5-star classic. So it wasn't down for it. And that's what I was talking about with this thing. They put that match on knowing that and then they put a match in between it as if the crowd needs a cool down match. No. I don't think that's, no. Don't don't do that. You know, that doesn't deserve to be in the semi-main. You know, back in the day, the second to last match was the Intercontinental title match, and then the last match was the title match. That's how it was. And they don't seem, most of the time, that's how it was. WWE, and they don't seem to be, you know, really be into doing that anymore. So, whatever. So then now we come to, again, one of the guys who got the viral infection was Roman Reigns. He had a viral infection as well. So when you get to see Thursday and you see Kurt Angle is going to replace Roman Reigns in the match, you just say, what? Is that like? Have you seen that GIF on the internet where the guy goes, what? Again, what did you just say? And that's what it was. I could not believe it. And like I said at the beginning of this, you get the Shield music hits, and Rollins and Ambrose comes upstairs there, and then Kurt Angle slides his ass up. I mean, this was and at the time, Kurt Angle didn't look like he didn't know what he was doing, you know, because obviously he hasn't been around forever. He doesn't, and it's been 11 years, and you know that people are doing different things now. So I almost think that was almost kind of like set up to be like that. Like he was supposed to be like not, you know, he's not supposed to be doing much, you know, because he was probably not in shape, really in true wrestling shape. You know, he probably wasn't in true wrestling shape. It was so quick. You know, sure, he's in, you know, physical condition shape where he's, you know, not overweight or anything, but probably not in this wrestling condition where he can run rolling and he could go 20-25 minutes in a match. You know, and in fact, during the match, Braun Strowman, you know, power slams him, and you know, onto the thing. He power slams him onto a table, breaks the table, and again, you know, and this is one of the reasons why I really wish they would stop. One of the reasons why I wish they would stop doing all the things. At least they didn't take him out on a stretcher, but they had people come and take him back to the back. And that was one of the reasons why I was wondering if it was real or not. I was 80% thinking it was a work, but there was 20% of me wondering if it was a shoot, because they were having him do this as if, you know, he was trying to keep, he had fillings in his arms and everything, and his hand. So I was kind of wondering that same thing with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins did a frog splash onto Braun Strowman. Is holding his knee, and again, so you know that doesn't need to be happening all the time, because then you wonder if it's a work or a shoot. So you know, every now and then, you know, we just had Hell in a Cell stretcher job. We didn't need Kurt Angle to go down the stretcher, so I'm glad they didn't take him out on the stretcher. But he didn't. But also we just had come off a couple pay-per-views ago where Brock Lesnar he went out on a stretcher and then came back, and then you know, Kurt came back in this match. So they need to tone down on that a little bit. If you're gonna be taken out on the stretcher, you shouldn't come back. Not in the match. You know, the same thing. If you get taken out of the match, don't come back. As I would really just say. I was kind of expecting, at one point, I was expecting Brock Lesnar to show up, because they were just, you know, after Kurt Angle had left, the five of them they took him down and they beat him up, and this might have been at one point where I would have said maybe having one of them, not both of them. This wasn't a match where, you know, everybody needed to be bleeding. That wasn't the case, but if maybe at some point you could have had, even if it was a blood capsule, one of them bleeding, it may have seemed a little bit more, you know, more brutal of a beatdown. But listen, I'm not gonna go get into the whole blood thing and everything like that. You know, for me, it's a lot better now than it was in the past, when every match, every feud, every match, they were gigging themselves. And that just wasn't the case. You just didn't need to do that. And it only should be done when it's extremely called for, and so that's what that'll be okay for. So, but yeah, they went down, and then they had him down. And then Miz brought in a truck, and they were trying to, throw him in the trash can. And then it didn't happen. And then the miscalculation with Kane, and actually one of the occasions, Kane started to really beat up Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman got up, he pulled down 10 chairs, dozen chairs on top of him. So who knows what was going on, in Kane's mind. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they did that because of the whole issue that if that was going to be how they did it to begin with, or if they had to do that because Roman wasn't there, and then they had to take Kurt Angle off a little bit, and so they decided to kind of do that that the way they did it. So I'm not sure, but whatever it is, it's okay. It's fine. It could be Braun Strowman now. Braun Strowman now puts out Kane. Listen, as long as you leave Braun Strowman away from Roman Reigns, away from the title picture, I'm okay. Because listen, Roman Reigns is going to get the title at WrestleMania. I think we all know that, and I kind of think Braun Strowman just needs to stay away from that. Let him be just a monster. Let him be just a monster, and he can beat up people, get in long feuds with people, but no title run, not yet for Braun. So the other four beat him up, Braun, put him in a garbage can, and then they just he gets taken out of the arena. He doesn't come back. I got a feeling that garbage truck is gonna come down that ramp tomorrow night on Raw, and you're gonna hear and everything like that. So, I'm also not sure if that was a face turn or not. We will have to also wait and see how he reacts on Monday, tomorrow night on Raw. But anyway, so then they take him down, and then they try to beat up Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and I think that was it didn't happen. And then Kurt Angle comes back, and like I said, it comes back to the music, that one, and the All American music, and he comes back and he gives Sheamus a back body drop. He gives Sheamus a angle slam. Then he gives Cesaro an angle slam onto a table, and he goes in the ring, and he goes after Miz, and Kane gets him, and then Kane tries to tombstone him. The boys come back with chairs, beats him up with the Shield, and then the boys take out Kane, and then they do the Roman Reigns run into the guardrail and take him out spot, which was amazing. And then it's Kane, and then for a minute there, Miz he came in and he scored Christopher Knight and Kurt Angle, and I actually thought that's the way the match was going to end. I thought, oh well, you know what? It might make sense to go ahead and have the Miz win, since it's not the real full Shield, right? They can get their revenge later, but no, it was not. He kicked out. He went for it again. Kurt Angle reversed into the ankle lock. He broke the ankle, kicked Kurt out of the ring, but all they did was they set up the spot for the Shield to come up and set up and do what they usually do, like the pack of hounds they are. And then they went in, and then we got the ripcord knee strike from Seth Rollins, dirty deeds from Dean Ambrose, angle slam from Kurt Angle, and then, as Corey Graves called it, the Olympic Shield Bomb. Oh, wow! And Kurt gave powerbomb, and Kurt got the victory. He got the pinfall, and it was a victory for the Shield. And that was awesome. That was truly awesome. I enjoyed. I gave it 5 stars for the sheer entertainment and madness of it all. It was just truly awesome. It probably realistically wasn't 5 stars. It probably take 1 star away. It probably was 4 stars. But And I'm giving it 5 stars. I'm giving it extra 5 stars because Kurt Angle came out in the exact Shield gear. That was amazing. Oh, I love the hell out of that, man. This was truly nice. Oh, we get to see and as Corey Graves said on the thing too, the inventor of Suplex City, Kurt Angle, giving the Germans to Miz, and giving the Germans to Sheamus, and giving the Germans to Cesaro. Oh, that was epic, man. Oh, what a night of wrestling. This was awesome. People said that this was going, that this pay-per-view got a little bit more better with AJ Styles and Kurt Angle in it, and I think they were actually right. I don't think Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor could have put on a 4.5 star match like AJ and Finn did, and I'll give it to Roman Reigns. But again, like I said, if they did the same thing, but just had Roman Reigns in it, it just would have been 4 stars. But having Kurt Angle there and everything like that, just the extra bit of it, I think made it class. Sometimes you just have to do that. You have to give it an extra star, extra half star, just like the unbelievableness of it. So this was truly awesome, and this was so great. I did it live here on the stream. This was the best night of wrestling in a long time for me, and this was really awesome. I enjoyed the hell out of it. So, all right, folks, post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys thought of this pay-per-view. Tell me what you guys thought of the Finn Balor AJ Styles match. What you guys thought about Kurt Angle and the Shield. What you thought of the women's title match, the cruiserweight title match. What you guys thought of the Asuka's debut. Give me all your opinions down below in the comment section. Just let me know. This was truly amazing. Thanks my guy Neville for coming and commenting on it. I appreciate it. She said what's up to Never. A couple other people stopped by and watched. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. And for those of you guys who are watching this later, as always, I totally appreciate you. Jeez, I wish I could edit this so I can insert the Sam Jackson English motherfucker. Can you speak it? But you know what it is. I do appreciate you guys watching so much. So like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for watching, whenever you do watch. This is your boy AJ Tripp signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out. We'll see you next time for another rapid reaction of a WWE pay-per-view or a big time event, maybe even the World Series. Who knows? Talk to you guys later.